Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. It is the 18th of February, and we're back on a Tuesday after a day off. Hopefully, you had a good, nice, long weekend and President's Day. We've got a good show coming up for you today. It's Tasty Tuesday. We've got a guest you may recognize joining us very soon. But first, my co-host this morning, Benji Escobar, joined us live from somewhere around HCC TV. Where are you, Benji?
I'm in one of the offices that is now empty here.
All right, yeah. So you're making do because I know your office had some issues and most recently, I think some flooding from a damaged pipe, right?
Yeah, that is true. So I'm currently dislocated from my office and kind of like a nomadic person here in the office.
Well, you're not alone. There's a few people moving around right now while we're in a little bit of transition here. We're not in our studios this morning because the city of Houston doing some road work right above our studios because we're located at the basement of 3100 Main and a little too loud this morning. So hopefully the city will get that done. But we're live this morning with your HCC news and information. You're watching us now on Facebook Live and YouTube. We're also on HCC TV, and they can watch us anytime in social media, Benji.
Yeah, we're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page. Like you said, not HCC, but Houston Community College District. We're also on YouTube, X, LinkedIn, and HCC TV, where you can catch rebroadcasts of this show at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
So, Benji, you're going to be talking with this next guest. We're talking about learning how to live healthier with diabetes. Ta Frias is a specialist for HCC's Recreational Sports, and she's our guest, one of our guests this morning. Good to see you, Ta.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I know Benji's got a number of questions for you to talk about diabetes and how to manage the lifestyle. So stick around. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes after the commercial break. But first, we're going to kick things off. It's Tasty Tuesday, and it's one of our regular co-hosts is here for this topic, talking about his side specialty, barbecuing and smoking. Good to see you, Daniel. Daniel Scholl is HCC Financial Coast and a home barbecue, I should say, enthusiast as well. Daniel, good to have you.
Thank you for being here. Yeah, unfortunately, not the healthiest topic to start the show with, but I guess you'll be getting some good, healthier information after I talk about fattening barbecue.
Well, I mean, not all barbecue's fattening. You get your protein. If you don't slather it with a lot of sugary sauces, you put it straight on the grill, and there's no problem there. It's very healthy.
It can be,
But
yeah.
it can be. But let's start talking about the difference between Texas barbecue and other regions. You know, Tennessee's got their own style. Memphis has got its own style. North Carolina's got its own style. What makes Texas barbecue so different?
So the main thing that makes Texas really stand out from everybody else is that we kind of focus on beef. You talk about the Carolinas and Memphis and everybody else. Generally, you're talking about pork, right? Pork ribs, whole hog. If you get out of the Carolinas, something that really separates us is our focus on brisket and beef ribs. Beef ribs you pretty much only get in Texas, and I dare say Texas is about the only place that does brisket correctly. Although the Kansas City people will argue about their burnt ends, but it's really interesting how the different regions kind of come about. Obviously with our history of the cattle drives and the beef industry in Texas, that's why we have a beef focus. Whereas
Right.
in the Carolinas, the British were bringing pork over, and that's why they focus more on pork barbecue.
Well, I know that, Texas barbecue, when I've traveled to other places and had barbecue in other places, nobody seems to, unless they say they're doing Texas style barbecue, but create that brisket with the bark around it, the nice smoked, crunchy bark around the tender meat. That's something that seems very characteristic of Texas.
It is. So, generally, in Texas, we do want a heavy bark in there. And mostly you're just seeing like what they call like a Dalmatian rub, just salt and pepper, maybe a little garlic, but gets, put pretty heavy on there. And we just go real low and slow. A good brisket might take you 12 plus hours
Right.
to cook, and that's really going to create that thick bark as well as all that pepper that we put on there. Some people feel that Texas barbecue, the pepperiness really does differentiate us. The other thing too is we don't sauce our barbecue, especially the brisket. In Texas, they usually say if you have to put sauce on it, it means the barbecue wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Especially when you get into the hill country, right up in Lockhart, Austin. Some of the real famous places in Lockhart don't even offer sauces. And
Well, also too, another big thing in Texas is smoking. I mean, there are obviously different types of smokers you can get. If you're getting on the market, are there any starter grills that would have a good smoker on it?
let's talk about the difference between a grill and a smoker real quick. So a grill is basically where you're going to cook directly over open flame. Think of your Weber kettles, a gas grill. Whereas a smoker, you're cooking over indirect heat. The meat's not actually over your fire. And so within smokers, yeah, the probably the most introductory one would be what they call like a pellet smoker. A lot of people, have heard of like Traeger, and basically you do have a firebox on the side, but that's real nice because you can set a thermostat. You can tell exactly what temperature you want to be, and it's just feeding pellets and keeping that at the same temperature the whole time. The most
Now, I've
common
got a
one,
question to
oh, I'm
ask
sorry.
you on that
Yeah,
because yeah, we bought a really nice grill, but it is a grill. It doesn't have a smoker on it. But I found a contraption I bought at a barbecue store yesterday, and it's an expandable tube that you can put the pellets in. So
yes.
I put the pellets in yesterday, couldn't get them to light. So what is the trick there? Because they didn't work, it didn't work at all, and it seemed like pretty easy. It's just you couldn't get the pellets to light.
So there are things called starter cubes. They're little wax paraffin cubes. They will set about anything alight. So you could put one of those into your smoker tube, and it will ignite whatever's in there.
Okay. All right. Because I was thinking I'm doing something wrong because it certainly didn't work yesterday, but it seemed like a good idea. Do those contraptions actually work? Do you know what I'm talking about? The
I
tube you fill with
Yeah, the smoker
with the
tubes. Yeah,
pellets?
you fill them with your wood chips, and yeah, you can throw them in a lot of people who use gas grills
Yeah.
use them a lot to get that smoke going. But normally, yeah, you're going to have to ignite that the chips in there, and like I said, those you can go to any store and get those fire starters. They're pretty expensive.
Your meats and the different type of grills. The smaller ones, like you see the eggs, those green eggs. Do those things work pretty well?
Right. Those are great cookers. You can grill on those or smoke. That's called a Komodo style. That's more of an Asian style. They're ceramic, so they hold their heat incredibly well. And they're very heavy. They're very thick, but that heaviness and that thickness of the ceramics gives you a constant temperature. If you want to grill directly over them, you just do it like a grill. But they often have like a plate that you put in there that sits between your fire and your meat, and then basically turns it into a smoker at that point.
Propane versus charcoal. Big debate here in Texas. Should people own both?
Uh, I'm a charcoal guy. I'm not gonna lie. Um, there's obviously a friend of mine's propane. He's like, dude, I can be cooking food in like 5 minutes. You're cooking food in 30, which fair enough. But I think part of the greatness of grilling and barbecuing is that it's a little slow, right? It does take you time to maybe have a cold beverage and
Right.
spend some time with your friends outside as those coals are getting hot. Um, I don't judge. The big thing that I do here is within charcoal, there might be some impurities depending on the charcoal you buy. A lot of people try to buy more natural hardwood charcoal versus the briquettes. Um, I've never really tasted that. With propane, you're not going to pick up that charcoal flavor. Some people like
Yeah.
that, some people don't. I think that's just personal preference. I will say, I don't, if you are going to do charcoal, and I use charcoal when I grill, use a chimney starter.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a way that you can get your coals going without needing to use the lighter fluid. That I do worry about lighter fluid soaked into those coals and then cooking food over that.
Yeah, I've used that before, and those things actually work pretty well with the chimney starters when I've had a charcoal grill. If you had a tip for people when you're preparing your meats to go on the grill, what would be the biggest
Salt
tip
your
you would get
meats
for them?
well in advance, and then pat them dry. The drier your meat is, if you're going to grill it, if you want a really good sear on a steak, the drier that meat is, the better. When you put salt on, it's actually going to draw out a lot of moisture, which helps you create that sear. Plus, the salt actually does kind of an osmosis thing and gets into the beef or chicken or whatever protein you're cooking, and it's just going to this more time in advance that you can either salt it or be it a wet brine or a dry brine. It's just going to make your meat so much tastier. And a lot of people also suggest that maybe let it be a little cold when you put it on there. I kind of disagree with that. I like to bring my meat up to room temperature.
Room temperature. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I've started doing, and it seems like it does help with the cooking process. But then again, I remember years ago, I had these friends that would put their steaks on the grill frozen, and they turned out pretty good.
I've never even heard of that.
Oh
So
yeah, they put it on fully frozen, hard as a rock, and believe it or not, it actually worked. I'd never heard of it before, but it actually worked. So maybe give it a try sometime, but be wary of the steak. You may wind up losing it.
I might do that with a cheaper cut of meat first to see how
Yeah.
that, yeah, comes out. One of the great things I was going to say about barbecuing is that everybody's got a different technique, right? And you really can make it your own, with your little tricks and tips as you go along. So I think that's fun.
Daniel Scholl is one of our co-hosts here at HCC TV, and he's HCC's financial coach, We Care campaign committee member, and part-time barbecue cook. Good to see you again, Daniel. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you. Hope everybody gets to enjoy some good barbecue here soon.
Absolutely. All right, we are going to take a break, and we're going from barbecue to talking about health tips for those who have diabetes or trying to avoid diabetes. We're going to have guests coming on in a few minutes. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
At Houston Community College, we make your lessons matter. Open the door to real-world education, where passions become careers. Find out more at hccs.edu and let your success take flight.
That one day at PE when they were like yelling at me and then you just linked arms with me, I don't think you know how much like that helped me. I finally like knew that I had somebody.
All right, welcome back to Up to the Minute again. We're moving on to Frias, specialist for HCC Recreational Sports. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me. Good morning.
Of course. As we said earlier in the show, HCC is hosting a diabetes fair next week. But before we can get into what people can learn from it, tell us about the details and where it will be held.
Sure. It's going to be Tuesday, February 25th at the Harmon Building in room 100 from 11 to 2, so 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to have quite a few people there. Hopefully bring in as many friends and staff members as you can, and it'll be a good opportunity to learn about diabetes, how it can affect you, and ways to prevent it.
Okay, so this is for everybody because you just said it's basically staff, students, anybody, right?
Correct.
Awesome. And who's hosting this?
Central Rec Sports is hosting. I am the Central Rec Sports specialist, and this is one of our many events that we do throughout the semester.
Awesome. And then the flyer says there are 6 dimensions of wellness. Do those apply
Yes.
to those living with diabetes? Also like to prevent and all that stuff?
Well, this is in line with our student services 6 dimensions of wellness. We look at the emotional, physical, career, financial, cultural, as well as physical wellness. And so this fits into one of those dimensions, actually more than one, but it's primarily focusing on physical wellness. And the great thing about this is it not only promotes awareness, but it also promotes healthy ways that you can live your lifestyle so that you can, if you're living with diabetes or if you want to be preventive about it, maybe have it within your family or maybe not know enough about it to know how to be preventative. So it gives a lot of information. We have a lot of demonstrations. We have specialists there to help answer questions. And it's just overall just a great informative event.
And I know a major thing with that and trying to prevent diabetes, even if you do have it, where it's your family members have that, right? Would eating habits be something like healthy eating habits was something that would help a lot, would you say?
Yes, one thing that I've learned over the course of my life, especially now as I get a little bit older, is that we are very resistant to change in many ways.
Hmm.
We grew up eating a certain way, we live our lifestyle eating a certain way, and sometimes when we get presented with this alternate way of doing things, we're very resistant to doing that. And I think one of the great things about Tuesday's Health Fair is that you'll learn about how you can not drastically change your eating habits, but learn how to incorporate healthy eating habits into your already day-to-day kind of environment. So you're not doing anything drastic. You're not going to be resistant to maybe turning your life upside down, but it's ways that you can incorporate healthier things that you can do and still continue to do some of the things that you're maybe used to doing on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, of course. I mean, that's very important, I'd say, right? All
Yeah.
right. So, also, I know that some of the, well, not some, all the attendees can actually participate in fitness activities while they're there, right? I mean, what are they going to be able to do?
Yes. Well, we're going to have some fitness trainers in from Harris County Health Department Dawn Center. They're going to come in and they're actually going to give some tutorials, some ways that you can incorporate fitness into your day to day. And I think that's a big thing about having a healthy lifestyle, right? It's not only just the nutritional piece, but also how you can get your body moving and incorporate more of the physical piece too. It doesn't take a lot. And I think they'll do a good job of kind of showing things that you can do that's not very again, it's not a drastic change, but things you can start to incorporate into your day to day that can help you with your overall your path to a healthier lifestyle.
No, I mean, I'm glad y'all are doing this event. I mean, I think it's really great for the community, not only for students, but like the community. And I mean, what came about? Like, how did this even happen to start off? Like, have we been doing this already, or is this the first time we're doing this?
We've had health fairs around the different college campuses. I know that a lot of our rec sports specialists do host these events. This one is centered around diabetes in particular because I myself found out that I was pre-diabetic in the last 2 or 3 years, and I didn't quite know what that meant or what changes I needed to go about to make sure that I don't become diabetic. And I thought, if I'm having this issue, I'm sure other people are as well. And I thought this is a great way to bring more awareness to it, especially as something that is preventable or it can be, pretty much changed so that you can go from being on a path of being diabetic to all of a sudden not. And I think that's a good way for us to kind of inform people in the community about it. Also, we're offering screening so that you can see if you do fall into that category of possibly having diabetes, or if you need to start taking certain measures to change your lifestyle so that you don't go down that path. So just awareness, I think, is very, very important. It's something that we do offer a lot on these campuses, which I'm very proud to be a part of. But more importantly, it's also offering a way of once you are aware, what can you do about it?
Awesome. That's great. You heard that, folks. There's going to be doing some free diabetic screenings. So definitely check this out. I also wanted to talk about the recreational center in general. A lot
Yeah.
of students don't know that we have this facility at Central. I mean, tell us about
Yeah.
what can we do there?
It's a great wellness center here at Central. We have it set up and it's you have a weight room where you can go in and get general fitness in. We have aerobic equipment. We also have a gym where you can do some 3-on-3 basketball. We are actually starting a 3v3 tournament in March. We have lots of things going on throughout the week. I believe my website will be posted in on the Facebook page, so you guys can click on that link and see what we're offering here in the gym. But we try to do things throughout the month, throughout the week. Our our wellness center manager, Sydney, has fitness challenges going on every week. And she has one going starting on Mondays. So come in, be a part of the fitness challenge. There are ways that you can regularly get exercise in here, and it's free to all faculty, students, and staff. With HCC. So once you come in, all you have to do is register to be a member, and you're welcome to use our facilities. And it's very good to take advantage of it because it's a really nice setup we have here. We also have a mindful room where you can go in and relax, complete with the massage chair, but also just so many different avenues to help with your overall physical wellness here.
And let me ask you, did I hear that correctly? Free for HCC?
It's free. Yes, as long as you're registered and you're currently enrolled, it's free to students.
There you go. Well, thank you so much,
You're
Frias,
welcome.
specialist for HCC Recreational Sports, and we'll have all of your info in our post after the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. And you guys, please come into our wellness center. And I hope to see you guys on Tuesday, February 25th at the Diabetes Wellness Fair.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up after a quick commercial break, Todd and I will return with some news and announcements. So stay tuned.
At Houston Community College, we make your lessons matter. Open the door to real-world education, where passions become careers. Find out more at hccs.edu and let your success take flight.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Welcome back to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and this Tuesday, we've got a few announcements for you. One of them talking about a deadline on the way for a Black History Month contest where you could win a $100 gift card. HCC Student Life is wrapping up its Black History Month Legacy of Labor Creative Arts Contest. Students can submit an original song, artwork, or written piece honoring African-American workforce heroes to win a $100 gift card. The deadline is 5 p.m. Thursday, February the 20th. Check our post after the show for more information. And Benji, if you're looking for a haircut, which it looks like you might need one soon, we've got free haircuts today and tomorrow.
Yes, free barber services have returned to HCC Central. This will take place Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the HCC Central Campus JB Whitley building only in this campus. So that I just mentioned. So walk-ins are welcome, but appointments are better. So check our post after the show for the number to call for an appointment.
We've got an art exhibition that's happening soon. Where Borders Meet, faculty member Jonas Crisco features the rural backgrounds of Texas and its forgotten towns and the faded facades that show the natural cycles of growth, decay, and renewal. There's an artist reception 5 p.m. Wednesday, March 5th. It's happening in HCC's East Side Felix Morales Wedge Gallery. The exhibition runs through April the 4th. Check our post after the show for more information on that. And we've got a Student Success Summit around the corner, too.
Yes, HCC administrators, faculty, and staff can connect, collaborate, and learn about best practices at the annual Student Success Summit. Speaker Dr. Martha Ellis of the Texas Success Center, Texas Pathways, and the Aspen Institute will be there. This will take place Friday, March 28th from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at the HCC West Houston Institute building. Check out our post after the show for more info.
If you're needing more money to pay money for college, well, We've got a work study program here with a student's approved work study financial aid award. They can work part-time on campus or off and earn $15 an hour, working up to 19 and a half hours a week. Unfortunately, HCC's international students are not eligible for work study positions. Check our post for more information on this program. And if you're looking to register for college, you can still get some classes in and get credits before the end of the semester.
Yes, registration for spring is ongoing with classes being offered in a variety of programs and in various semester lengths. HCC courses are also offered in a range of modalities, including online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid, in-person, hybrid lab. To learn more about HCC program start dates and options to cover costs, please visit hccs.edu/apply.
Tomorrow's show will be welcoming our newest college president, Dr. Betty Fortune, college president for HCC's Northeast College. She's been at HCC for a little while now. And a Fort Bend judge will talk about a new initiative allowing residents to borrow tools and equipment to tackle their own projects and enhance their own neighborhoods. All that and more tomorrow on Up to the Minute. Benji, we will see you next week, or possibly before if you're filling in, right?
Possibly. It could always happen.
Could always happen. He counts on that. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow live at 10 a.m. with Up to the Minute.